My full name is Fundi Skweyiya-Gushu. I'm an activist in South Africa. I'm a researcher, and I'm also a specialist in political communications. I'm a social entrepreneur as well. I'm part of an organization called 20 Media. I come from a family of activists. Basically, my grandmother was an activist. Since the young age, from time to time, I would attend meetings with her. She was one of those that did not look at the difference. She looked at the similarities, that we're all humans. That was basically part of the fundamental principles within society, that you don't go up alone, you lift others with you. I joined the ANC Women's League as a communicator at a time when the organization had challenges in terms of regaining its good image in society, because it has always been perceived as an organization that was supporting male leaders. We had to look and find ways in which we could change that around, to make it a program within the Women's League that actually acknowledges that powerful men are also perpetrators. Rapists are not just a guy on the streets. It's not your criminal on the road. It's also a powerful man with a suit. For instance, a woman that has been violated by a powerful person would feel that, who's going to believe me? Am I even going to get justice? So in a way, part of my work was to reaffirm those victims and given our membership and our influence in society, people started to see issues of gender-based violence differently. And men actually started to join, especially in politics, started to join the struggle against gender-based violence in society and ensuring that women get justice, and actually we name and shame those who violate women. We have experienced democracy. However, in terms of land ownership and property ownership, it's still within a minority group within the country, and those who are privileged anyway by apartheid. In terms of looking at land dispossession and how the black South Africans were dispossessed of land, and how do we redress the imbalances of the past, government started doing consultations. And as they were doing consultations, I decided that no one is looking at women's rights to own land. It's rules that were enacted by the traditional leadership, and those rules were against the rights of women, and they infringed the rights of women to own property, and actually they were unconstitutional and undemocratic. I met up with the Rural Women's Movement and started running campaigns with them in terms of consolidating a voice for women in which they can fight together to own land and actually challenge the Zulu monarch in terms of ensuring that the patriarchal laws that prevent women from partaking in the economy and actually prevent women from owning property. The Rural Women's Movement with other NGOs decided to take the Zulu monarch, and they took him to court, given the kind of work that I had done and the research that I had done. So we had enough evidence to take him to court that this was unconstitutional. We won the case against the Zulu king, and now the Zulu king is no longer allowed to do some of these atrocious laws, rural laws, or rather traditional laws against women. So we're moving forward. As much as there'll always be challenges, moving at a faster pace. It's our generation that went through training. It's our generation that will make the difference. It's our generation that will change. It's our generation that will usher the country to the next transition of democracy, to ensure that South Africa really belongs to all who live in it, and we all experience and we're all equal, because we're one of the most unequal societies in the world. I don't want the next generation of women to have to experience what I had to experience. I don't want to see another generation of young women to have to fight to get into spaces. So what I see in future is myself going back into politics and creating an impact and being part of the generation that takes my country to the next transition, democratic transition, in terms of ensuring that we're all equal. It's not just symbolic. Equality is not symbolic. It's in action, to also ensure that certain institutions like the judiciary are transformed, that the laws in South Africa are not only, there are certain laws for Black people and certain laws for white people. We decolonize our country in terms of getting rid of the remnants of colonization in society. Because if you look at some of the traditional laws and how patriarchal they are, and how they contravene in terms of human rights. It's laws that were enacted as part of the colonial project that need to be done away with. Part of the colonization project as well took away our identities, you know. It messed up with our identities and divided us in terms of ethnic identities. I want to be part of the generation that's going to unite our people beyond ethnicity and diffuse all kinds of ethnic tensions in our country, and to ensure that we're just South Africans, more than our race, more than ethnicity, our background. I think